Okay, good morning, everyone. No students. Here. Okay, type your name. It's a bit late in the monitor. Type your names in English for your attendance. So I'll just wait for 50 students and we will start. Because I don't want to go back again to from the beginning. So I'll wait for, I have 30 students already. So from room 1, room 2, room 6, room 3, room 5, room 4, room 7. No room 8. Okay, room 8. So all the rooms are complete already. So I have 43, 48. Okay, 52. So let's start with our lesson. So this is the third online teaching that we had. And hopefully, if things will change, we will have the face-to-face class already by next week. I don't know, but that's the initial decision. We will have face-to-face online discussion already by next week. I hope the COVID will not prevail again because this past few days there is a higher positive rate of COVID here in Thailand. It's almost 1,000 per day. So I hope that everyone is healthy. So once again, good morning, everyone. So this is social studies, as you know. Okay. So for this morning, we are going to discuss the topic that we are supposed to discuss last week, but we don't have enough time because we had our online quiz, and most of you are able to do the online quiz because I give chances to those students who are not able to do it during our discussion. So I opened the class flow last Monday during the lunch break, and thank you to those students who are able to take the quiz. And for those who are not, I'm so sorry, but that's the last one already because I told you I'm going to open it from 12 noon up to 1 p.m. only. And after 1 p.m., I'm going to close it. Okay, so I sent the announcement. It's not my fault if you did not listen or understand the announcement that I gave to you. I already give you an hour to do it. There are only 20 questions. But if you're not able to do it, it's not my fault because I send the announcement, I open it for 1 hour, but then only few students were able to answer the quiz. Okay? So now let's proceed to our lesson for today. So we're going to talk about the behavior of firms in a perfect competition market structure. So we already defined before what is a perfect competition market structure, and I guess you know already what is a firm, okay? Because I guess most of you here have your businesses, okay? So first, let's have a vocabulary. So I have here 5 or 6 vocabulary that you have to take notes or understand because those words will be found later on as we go on to our discussion. Okay? But of course, I'm not going to give it to you freely. You have to guess what is this vocab. Okay? So if you know the answer, you can send send your answers in the chat box. I'm going to read your answers, okay? Or in the comment section. So the first vocabulary, we have an organization that buys or hires the various factors of production to produce goods and services that can be sold for profit. Okay, what vocabulary is this? Okay. I can see the answers from my phone here. I have answers from room 3. The answer firm from room 1. Okay, so the correct answer is firm. A firm is an organization or a business owner. Okay, so they buy or they hire various factors of production, like the land, labor, and capital, in order to produce products or produce goods and provide services that can be sold for profit, to earn profit. Okay? Next word. Occurs when the limited resources available are unable to meet the unlimited wants of humans. What is that event in economy when the limited resources available are unable to meet the unlimited wants of humans? So we have the letters here. Wrong spelling is wrong. Check your spelling. I'm not going to consider your answers. So I can see a word, but it's in the wrong spelling. Okay, so I have answers from room 2, number 27, room 7, number 23, and room 3, number 31. They answered, okay, scarcity. Scarcity occurs when the resources that we had doesn't meet the needs and wants of the people. Next word. Refers to the most effective use of an economy's resources to satisfy people's needs. Arrange the letters to get the correct answer. So this word refers to the most effective, from the word effective. The effective use of economy's resources to meet or to satisfy people's needs. So I have your answer. So the correct answer is, okay, efficiency. The effective use. That's efficiency. Next one. Okay, the revenue remaining after all costs are paid. These costs include labor, materials, interest on debt, and taxes. What is that? Okay, very active. So the correct answer is, okay, that's profit. The remaining money that you get after you deduct all the costs that you spend in making your product. That's profit. Next one. Money that a company receives, especially from selling goods or services. What do you call that money? Whenever you sell a product. Okay, arrange the letters. The money that you get when you sell a product. What would be the answer? In a layman's term, it is equivalent to income. But in economics, okay, we talk about, okay, that's correct. The first one to send the answer is from room 2, number 27, revenue. So the money that you get, that's revenue. In layman's term, It's equivalent to income. Okay? Any money that you get when you sell goods or services, you call it revenue, or in a simple term, that's income. Okay, so that's the last vocabulary for this morning. Thank you for your participation. Okay, so the last one to send answer is from room 7, number 6. Okay, so we will now proceed to the main topic for this morning. So in studying the behavior of firms in a perfect competition market structure, we should know the basic principles. Okay? So what are the basic principles that a firm should know and understand whenever he or she wants to compete in a perfect competition market structure? So there are 3 or 2 basic principles. The first one, we talked about scarcity. So earlier, you already know what is the meaning of scarcity, right? So based on the pictures, okay, on the right side of the screen, you can see that there are five forks here, but only 1 tomato. And on the left side, you can see that only a little drops of water, but a lot of hands holding cups are needed. So in other words, scarcity, as we defined earlier, so it occurs when the limited resources available are unable to meet the unlimited wants of humans. Okay? So whenever we need something like the basic needs and the resources are not enough to meet the needs of the humans, that's how scarcity occurs. So resources are not enough for the people who need that resources. Okay? The next principle, we talk about opportunity cost. Have you heard this one before? Have you heard these terms, opportunity cost? I know you had your economics when you were in Math 3, I guess. Yes, when you're in Math 3 or 4. So you had your economics. Can you still remember what is an opportunity cost? Anyone? Without searching in the Google. Okay, just your own understanding. Just recall what you remember about opportunity costs. Anyone? You forgot already? Okay, so I have here 2 pictures. So the first picture, it's about a man deciding whether choice A or choice B. And then the other one, it's a student like you, and he has 2 options. 1 hour of studying, and the other one, 2 TV episodes. So according to the pictures, how do you understand opportunity cost? So the first one, the man is thinking which one to decide, choice A or choice B. And then this one, the little boy or a student is thinking about 1 hour of studying over 2 TV episodes. So according to the pictures, I have answers here. A student spent 3 hours and $20 at the movies the night before an exam. Very rich students. Okay, how do you understand opportunity cost based on the pictures? No one? Okay, so when we say opportunity cost, that's the highest valued alternative use that must be given up. Okay, take note of the word given up. Can you see? I don't know. Can I see the yellow circle here? It's just different. Okay. Okay, take note of the word given up. So opportunity cost, the highest valued alternative use that must be given up when the choice is made to use a particular resource for specific purpose. So based on the picture earlier, this one is thinking about choice A and choice B. Both choices are good, but he needs to give up the other one in order to gain the other one. Okay? So he is thinking whether choice A or choice B. If he is going to choose choice B, he must give up choice A. And choice A is what we call the opportunity cost. Okay? The most valued alternative that we must give up in order to gain another choice. But then, on the other picture, we have the students thinking about 1 hour of studying and 2 TV episodes. If he is going to choose watching 2 TV episodes, he must give up 1 hour of studying. Okay? So 1 hour of studying is the highest valued alternative use that must be given up by the students in order to watch 2 TV episodes. But as a student, which do you think you must choose between the two? I guess you must choose the other one. 1 hour of studying instead of watching 2 TV episodes, because that's the right thing to do. Okay? So opportunity cost, the highest value that you must give up in order to gain the other one. Okay? Okay, so another example. You're planning to go on a vacation. Let's say there is no COVID. You're planning to go on a vacation with your friends, but you are not earning your own money and you are still a student. Okay? And as a student, you have your own allowance, but then you really want to go on a vacation with your friends. So in order for you to save money to go on a vacation with your friends, you have to give up some of the things that you usually buy using your allowance in order to save up for your upcoming vacation. Okay? So for example, you are buying food that costs around 200 baht per meal. Okay? Food is very important to us, but since you really have to go, or you choose to go to a vacation, you have to save up money for your vacation. So you give up eating expensive food that costs 200 baht per meal in order to save up money to satisfy your need to go on a vacation. Okay? So opportunity cost, this does not talk about those things that are not important. These things are important, but we must give up in order to meet our needs for our choices. Okay? So I hope you understand the concept of opportunity cost. Okay? So looking at the graph, we have here on this side the hours of leisure or your free time. And then on this side, we have the hours of study. So according to this one, opportunity cost is equal to the next best alternative for gun. They say for gun that you must give up. So if you study an extra 2 hours, okay, from 2 hours you will add another extra 2 hours. The opportunity cost is the 2 hours of leisure that you now cannot have. Okay, what is that 2 hours that you cannot have from leisure? So since you have to study another 2 hours, from 10 hours of free time, you only have 8 hours. So you have to give up the 2 hours free time in order for you to meet the 2 additional hours for studying. Okay? So the 2 hours that you give up for your leisure time, that's what we call the opportunity cost. That's the thing that you give up in order to satisfy your needs for additional hours of study, which is 2 hours. Okay? So I hope that you understand it. To gain additional 2 hours of our study, you have to give up 2 hours from your leisure time. And that 2 hours that you give up, that's what we call the opportunity cost. Okay? Okay, so next we move on to the perfect competition market structure. Okay, what is a perfect competition market structure? How does it work? How do you think a perfect competition market structure works? What kind of market is this? In a perfect competition, what kind of market is this? What do you think? How does it work? What can you see? What are the things that you can find in a perfect competition market structure? Anyone? How does a perfect competition market structure works? What can you see? What are the things found in the perfect competition market structure? So we have a perfect market structure. I guess you had this one before with your economic subject before, so I don't need to discuss again the market structures. So we will just focus on our topic with the perfect competition market structure. What can you see in a perfect competition market structure? Yes? Any idea? Okay, so we have answer from, I don't know how to read this, 230, that's room 2, number 30. Am I right? Okay, room 2, number 30, answered homogeneous product. When you say homogeneous product, you are selling what? What is a homogeneous product? You have, okay, homogeneous product. What is a homogeneous product? Same. What is a homogeneous product? So another answer from room 2, how many sellers that know about marketing? Okay. Another one, there is no monopoly on marketing. Okay, big word, monopoly. High intensity of competition, that's correct. Homogeneous product. What is homogeneous in a simple term so that everybody can understand? How do you understand homogeneous product? Because you're telling me homogeneous product. I know what is a homogeneous product, but I want you to tell everybody based on your answer what is a homogeneous product so that everybody can understand. Okay, we have an answer. Look-alike product, or in simple terms, same product, selling of the same product. Okay, that's That's homogeneous product. Okay? So again, homogeneous product, look-alike product, or same product. Okay, identical product. That's correct. Okay, the product that have the same ability. Same ability? What kind of ability? Okay, so how does a perfect competition market structure works? So they have a homogeneous product, or they have identical product. What else? There is no monopoly on marketing. That's correct. How many sellers that know about marketing? Of course, every seller knows about marketing. How many sellers that sells the same product? Okay, thank you for your participation. So in a perfect competition market structure, it refers to a market situation where all players sell identical product. Okay, so all players sell identical product. Who are these all players? When we say all players, we talk about those firms, we talk about those business owners, we talk about the sellers. Okay? So the sellers, the firms, the business owners, they are selling identical or the same products. So each having a small share in the market. So you said there is no monopoly. Where is that answer? There is no monopoly in marketing, or there is no monopoly in the market because they share the same product, they sell the same product, and each one of them in the market only has a small share in the market since they are selling the same product. Okay, and you are correct about that one. There is no monopoly in marketing, or there is no monopoly in the market since they are selling the same product. So that's a perfect competition market structure. Okay, so please don't forget, sellers sell the same product, or sellers sell identical product. Okay, so what kind of product that are sold in the market that this firm is the same with the other one? Okay, according to the picture, what product is this that everyone in the market have the same with this one? What kind of product is this in the picture? So we define already perfect competition, selling the same product. So what are those products that is sold the same with each of the sellers in the market? So that's food. What kind of food? Fruit. So we have fruit. What product is this? We have this one, vegetables, and then condiments or spices. And then we have the farm over here and a cow in the center. Okay, so we called it agriculture productive. What do you mean productive? Make sure your spelling is correct. So we call this product as agricultural product. So those products that you can see in your market, or in Thai what you call talat, okay, we called it agricultural products. Okay, so the agricultural products, these are the products sold identically in the market since they have the same product coming from different farms. Okay, so that's one of the example of the product that is identical in the market. If you have been to a market, small market in the talat, or even in the supermarket, all the supermarket are selling the same agricultural products. But of course, some supermarkets have different prices. But if you go to talat, most of the prices of the agricultural products are the same because there is no monopoly of monopoly of product in the market since they are selling the same product. So that's vegetable, veggies. Okay, so we called it agricultural product. So this is one of the products sold in a perfect competition market structure. Okay, agricultural product. Please take down notes. Okay, the other one, the other example we have, this one. What is this? What can you see in the picture? So earlier we had already one example. That's the agricultural product. And this one, it shows the perfect competition as well. You have a lot of this one in Thailand. Wherever you go, you can see a lot of people selling this one. What do you call this one? Food, noodles. What do you call the people selling in the streets? What are they? Okay, street foods. Okay, or we call them street vendors. Okay, so the street vendors selling street food, they have a perfect competition market structure since they are selling the same product. As you said, they are selling noodles. When you go to the streets, you can see a lot of street vendors selling noodles or fried. I don't know what is that, but most of the time I can see most of them are selling noodles, and they are just, I guess, 5 meters away from each other. And even when you go to the center of Thailand and you go to like a big market, I don't know what is that called, but when you go there, you can see that they're just one line and they sell the same product. Okay, so street foods, we considered it as one example of a perfect competition market structure. Okay, so the street vendors. Aside from that, what other examples that you know? So I already gave 2. Agricultural products, street vendors. What other product that is sold identical to the other businesses or to the other firms? Can you give me some examples? I already gave you 2 examples. How about you giving me some ideas or giving your friends some ideas of the product showing a perfect competition market structure? Anyone? I know that you've been to a lot of places already. You have observed how the economy works, what can you see on the outside. So what are those products that you observe that they are just selling the same one? Okay, another answer, street food. I already give the street food and the agricultural products. What other products that you think is considered one of the example of a perfect competition market structure? So we have, okay, clothes vendors, but this one has an exemption. But I think that's correct because when you go to, I forget the name, but when you go to like a market here, night market, okay, that's the right term. when you go to the night market here in Thailand, there are a lot of night market and they are selling different kind of clothes, right? But those clothes are just identical from one another. Okay, that's what you can see on a night market. But clothes vary as well depending on the brand. Okay, so somehow clothes vendors are considered in a perfect competition type of market. But on the other hand, there are some clothes that is monopoly depending on the kind of brand. Of course, we have branded clothes, right? Like, yes, he said we have unique clothes. Okay, so the clothes are considered, example, we have the night market. Okay, but those clothes, branded clothes, they have their monopoly of their product because they have their own brand. But those unbranded clothes sold in the market, in the night markets, I think we can consider that one as having a perfect competition, especially when you can see them in a night market. Another one, we have grocery stores. Yes, like the small businesses of grocery stores, we can consider that one, but not the bigger one. But somehow those big grocery stores, they are having the same product, but they just came from a one supplier. They just get it from one supplier. Okay. Another one, we have drinks. What kind of drinks? Maybe the drinks. What you mean here, the drinks that is sold when you go to night market or when you go to the parks, there are different kind of drinks sold there. I don't know what it's called. I think that's the soda drink. A lot of people are selling that one. So we can consider that one as well in a perfect competition because they belong in the street vendors. Those selling soda drinks, they belong in the street vendors. We have another one, stationery store. Yeah, stationery stores, they sell the same product, the same school supplies, but they got it from the same supplier. Though they have a perfect competition, like what are the stationery store? I only know B2S. What is the other one? Okay, let's say B2S and then the other stationery store. They just sell the same product, but sometimes there are school supplies that we can only find in one store and not in the other stores. Okay, thank you everyone for your participation for this topic. So now let's move on to the next one. Okay. So earlier, according to the title, we will talk about how the behavior of firms in a perfect competition market structure. How does a seller or a firm, a business owner, react to the economy's changes? Or from this question, how firms function? Okay, what do you think? How does a firm function, or how does it work? How does a firm works, or how does a business owner works? Any idea? What is the number one goal of a person when he wants to create a business or he wants to sell a product? What is his main goal? Why he created the firm? Why he created a product to sell? Okay, so we have answer here from room 3, number 28. He said profit. Okay, so the firm function towards profit. So they are after with the profit. Okay, so what do you think are the ways to maximize profit? Okay, so the firm's function is to gain profit or to get profit from the goods and services that they sell towards the people. And what do you think are the ways to maximize the profit or to, what do you mean maximize? To get a higher profit. Okay, you said profit, and that's correct. So the firm function based according to how many profit that they get. So what do you think are the ways in order for a firm to maximize their profit or to get a lot of profit? So we have answer from room 2, number 27, low cost. Okay. We have, okay, low cost. What else? What are the ways to maximize profits? So you're going to lower your spending. When we say cost, talk about the spending. What else? Some more? Yes? Okay, so another answer, marketing strategy. That's correct. So you have to be wise in your marketing, advertising. Okay, that's correct as well. You have to make commercial or advertise your product in order for the people to know what product you have. Decrease cost of resources. That's correct. You have to lower the spending in your resources, your cost of resources. Create the product. Okay. Create a product that, what? What kind of creative product? Of course, you're the business owner, you want to sell a product. Of course, you have to create your product. Okay, so there are ways to maximize the profit of a firm. Okay, so the first one, we called it manage internal operations efficiently. What is this internal operations? So we talk about here how the firms create their product. Okay, so you have to make use of your labor, of your resources in the most effective way in order to prevent waste. Okay, so to maximize profit, you have to manage, you have to make sure that the labor, the resources are used effectively in order to prevent waste. Okay, so when you create your product, you have to make sure that nothing will be put into waste. Because as you know, sometimes it cannot be avoided whenever you make a product. There are products that is put into waste because it doesn't pass the standards. So since your goal is to make a profit, you have to prevent waste. You have to make sure that all the products that you will be making will be sold to the buyers or your target buyers. Okay? The third one, you have to purchase the correct quantity of inputs. What is this quantity of inputs? When we say quantity, we talk about the numbers. So as what you have said, the low cost, decreased cost of resources. That's correct. That is what we are talking about here. when you buy your resources, when you buy your raw materials, make sure that the number of the materials that you need is enough to meet the optimal level of your output or the desired output that you want to create. Okay? So the quantity of inputs. When you say inputs, these are the raw materials that you need in order for you to create the product. So you have to be wise in purchasing or in buying the correct number, the correct quantity of inputs or the raw materials in order to meet the desired output that you want. Because when you will just buy, like for example, you will just create 100 units of foam, but then, or let's say bags, you have to create, your target is 100 pieces or 100 units of bags, but then you buy a lot of raw materials. So from that, you are not wise about the quantity of inputs that you purchase. So make sure that the inputs that you purchase is just at least meet and not too much with the desired output that you want to create. Okay? Or in other words, we said low cost. That's correct. And the fourth one, you have to choose the optimal level of output. You have to set a target of your desired output. Okay? For example, right from the start, you decided to create only 500 pieces of tables. So you just have to stop there, because if you keep on creating product more than the optimal level of output that you have chosen, at the end of the day, you will have a loss in your business. Instead of gaining profit, you will get a loss. Okay? So choose the optimal level of output. When we say optimal level of output, the desired output that you want, that satisfy you, how many output that you want in order to prevent loss and gain a profit. Okay, so I think it's almost time. So next meeting, we are going to discuss some of the terms that you need to understand in order for a firm to gain profit. What are the things that a firm must understand, must fully understand in gaining profit or in achieving profit maximization? Okay, so this four will be fully discussed next week as we go on to the concepts on how firms maximizes their profit. Okay, so why is it that we have to set our desired output? Why is it that we have to purchase the correct amount of raw materials that we want? Why is it that we need to prevent waste? Why is it that we need to manage the operations efficiently in order to gain profit and not to have a loss in your business? Okay, so next meeting we're going to do that, and after the last topic that we are going to discuss next meeting, we are going to have a unit test. Okay, so we will discuss the continuation of this one. It's just very short, and after that we will proceed to the last topic, which is also just a very short topic. And after the discussion, we will proceed to the unit test. Okay, so I will send announcement in the line group so that you will not forget about the unit test. And I will send it in the line group. What are the topics that you need to study for the unit test? Okay, so they are signaling already that it's time and it's time already. So I guess that would be all for today. Thank you everyone for your participation in today's discussion. I hope to see you soon when everything is okay. So stay safe, stay healthy, and stay away from COVID. Okay, goodbye everyone. See you again when everything is okay. Next year.
ก็ต้องดูด้วยว่าปัญหา